Mimi, it is always so wonderful to see you in Venice, to come to your beautiful home and spend some time together. And even though it is so cold and windy outside, it is always warm and welcoming here.
Thank you.
How do you do that? What are kind of the magic ingredients that make people from around the world who come to your home feel at ease as soon as they walk in and meet you?
Well, I think the most important thing is when they walk through the door is to give them a good smile and welcome them into your home and greet them very friendly, offer to take their coat, bring them into the warm sitting room, which I candle lit, and I have lovely flowers, and then I'll offer them a drink, and then we'll have something to eat, and I think that they immediately start to feel at home.
True. You have been living in this house in Venice for 25 years, is it?
It must be getting on that way.
Really?
2002, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
What was kind of the idea and why did you move to Venice?
Very good question. Well, my husband had a wool combing plant near Padova, and before that we'd lived in a place called Schio, about an hour and a half from here. And I realized when he'd purchased the wool combing plant that we could actually perhaps live in Venice. It was halfway between each, the Lanificio, which is the mill, and Venice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd wanted to come and live in a more of an international city. Although it's a village, it's quite an international city with good communication. And so we ended up here. Of course, I didn't really know anyone when I first arrived. So I thought I'd like to live on the Grand Canal, because at least I saw the world pass by.
And
So
was it
we
easy?
found this
Was it easy to find a home?
Well, they said it was difficult to find something on the Grand Canal, but actually after a few weeks something appeared, and that's the place that we've been living in ever since. And it has very good communication from where we are. I'm very close to Rialto Market, where I like to go and shop for food, and that's every day of the week except Sunday. No fish on Monday, but otherwise it's got wonderful facilities. We're very easy to walk to the station from here, and also to Piazza di Roma, where there's all the cars, buses, and a tram now.
I guess Venice is such a particular place because wherever you are, I think people just go on foot.
Exactly.
You can't really like speed up time. Maybe you can take a taxi, but they cost a fortune, right?
Yes.
So you either go by foot or you take a vaporetto, but that's it. You have to be very organized to get from
Yes,
place to place,
you have
is
to
it?
know the kind of time it's going to take to get to places.
True.
And I mean, I do take taxis occasionally, depending. I mean, if I'm in Long, if I'm going somewhere informal, I would tend to go by taxi. But otherwise, the normal, everyday Venetians that live here take the Vaporetto. It's a normal thing to do. It's the water bus that goes around Venice, down the Grand Canal. There's different numbers of Vaporettos to take, or across to the Lido or out to the islands. And you know, it's funny, you meet people you know on the Vaporetto. It's a very friendly place.
Yes, I almost think of vaporettos in Venice like a big living room.
Yes.
Where you kind of come in and people are seated and you get to chat with everyone. I mean, it's also tricky because sometimes if you don't want to talk to people, you don't feel maybe it's friendly that day,
Yeah.
you really can't help it.
Yeah.
Because people you know will be passing by or saying hello.
Yes.
So I think it's a city where you can't really be lonely
Not at
because
all.
as long as you walk out the door, the life is there.
Exactly, exactly. And now that I have this little dog, I find that going out, I meet doggy people and the dogs, and I get to know the dogs' names. And it's very friendly in that way.
Is this Toto's first interview?
This is
This is
Toto.
his official hello to the world. He's just absolutely adorable. He's too tired.
He's very tired.
It's a long day.
He's been walking a lot today.
What did you do today?
We've been to the market this morning, and actually today is the day of the voting for the region.
Okay.
So not all the Vaporettos are working. So we got on a very crowded Vaporetto that didn't stop at the market.
Wow.
So we ended up across on the other side at Rialto. So we had to take the big bridge, and then we spent quite a long time in the butcher's shop.
Okay.
There were many people there buying. And it's just been yesterday, the day of the Madonna del Salute. It's been the day of the festa, and so there's actually a lot of people in town this weekend, I've noticed.
I feel it's definitely a holiday Venetians really
Yes,
feel like their own.
yes,
The tradition is quite strong.
yes, absolutely.
It's been my dream to actually see it in person. So it was really special to get to Venice last night and actually go to the mass and get to experience this really special day in Venice, where they basically are honoring the plague that happened, the end of the plague that happened in 1631.
Yes.
So it's a centuries-old tradition.
And they prayed to the Virgin Mary. So I don't know if you noticed the witch, the old woman being pushed out of Venice
Yes.
on the altar, which is the plague. And of course, everybody takes candles and they cross. There's a temporary bridge from the Gritti Hotel across the canal. And there's a mass every hour. And people take candles. They buy candles outside the Salute. And they give them to be lit by the people that volunteer there, as you saw.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's a very emotional day. It's a very spiritual day.
And you know, this idea of Venetians building a bridge to actually to take you from one end of the Grand Canal to the other, or Giudecca Canal for Redentore.
For the temporary bridge.
Temporary bridges.
Yes.
I think they're quite fascinating because the idea is that you're going on a pilgrimage. You're going somewhere where you don't usually go.
That's right.
So I think this kind of idea of setting on a voyage,
Yes.
that's really symbolic. But I mean, the costs of doing the kind of bridge, setting it up, keeping it there for 2 or 3 days,
Yes.
it's substantial.
Yes.
But I think it's all part of that magic of the city being alive and still honoring important dates in history.
And this year they also did it to the cemetery on San Michele.
Wow.
So
Why? Why was that?
It was very beautiful. Well, they had done it in 2019,
Okay.
and they haven't done it since. And so it's actually quite a long bridge from the Fondamento Nuovo across to San Michele to the main gates. They open up the main gates.
Yes.
And then the chapel also that isn't normally open on the cemetery on the island was open for a few days. I think they kept it open for a week.
Wow. Amazing. Mimi, how long did it take for you to start feeling that this is home? You have lived around the world. I mean, you're from New Zealand. You lived in London. You lived in the US for a while. Italy, you were in Cortona as well.
Outside of Cortona.
Is this the longest?
Paris.
Is this longest where you lived in one place?
It's actually the longest I've ever lived in one place,
Wow.
including growing up in New Zealand.
So what made Venice? When did you realize, wow, I feel good here and I want my life to be here?
It's a magical place. And so, as you see on my Instagram, I call it Mimi's Magical World. And the years have gone very quickly. But we're very happy here. We have a lot of friends here. A lot of international people have come to live in Venice. I've seen quite a big change since I've lived here. And I feel very settled. I like the fact I can walk everywhere. I like the slowness of here, not like a big city with cars. And it's just, I think, a very nice human way to live because it's a very human city, actually. And I would describe it as a human city. And I like the life here. I like the summers when you can go to the beach on the Lido. I love the winters when we go out in the lagoon, when a lot of the birds flying here on their way to Africa, migrating. I love a lot of different things that happen here during the year and the seasons. You're very aware of the seasons. And people say there are no gardens in Venice and you don't see green. But in fact, there are a lot of gardens, but they're mostly behind high walls, including ours, which is a small garden.
But delightful.
Yes.
I'm just thinking now that I have seen you in Venice pretty much in all seasons.
Yes.
And I got a chance to go to your beautiful beach club in the summertime, which is fun. So I guess every season has a particular flavor here, that's for sure. What is your favorite month, though?
Oh, that's a difficult question because every month has something different. I mean, this October and the beginning of November, up until a few days ago, we've had such glorious weather.
I know.
Yes, and
Unusual as well,
very,
right?
very unusual. And yeah, I love all the seasons here. I don't think there's a particular season, but October was particularly nice this year. Warm. In fact, people were sitting outside at night until I would say only about 10 days ago, the weather started to sort of
Change.
get cold and change, yes.
Mimi, how about your Instagram account and people that follow you from around the world? I know so many people who are friends in common, and they always say something like, it's always wonderful to see what Mimi's up to, and I just look at her stories to kind of pick me up or give me this wonderful sense of energy or life. And I think you really are inspiration to so many.
Yes, it's amazing the kind of comments I get. And I'm really happy that if I cheer people up by my daily life. But yes, I started my Instagram at a time when I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just following my niece who said, "Let me put you on Instagram," when she was
Okay,
staying here
wow.
one time. And it's grown from there, really. And I've just put my life as I see it, nothing particularly special, I don't think. And people seem to love it. I often get stopped in the street.
Yes, I have seen that as well. Sometimes when I will be with you, you will go, ah, hello, Mimi. I feel like I've known you and things like that. I think what people appreciate is the fact that you stop and you really do enjoy simple moments,
Yeah.
light on the Grand Canal when you wake up,
Yes.
or the summer, it's beautiful golden light in the afternoon. And I think that's a great reminder to live our life. I think people are always so busy rushing from place to place, meeting deadlines, schedules. But I think the fact that, we have a choice to stop
Yeah.
and look at beautiful things and just enjoy the perfect moment.
No, the light here is marvelous.
Yes,
Really, and you can see why painters came here to paint.
true.
And at every different times of the year, it's a different light. And I love the sunsets that you have here. And sometimes we go out on the boat. In the summer, we went out on the boat when the full moon was rising and the sun was setting. And that's magic to be on the lagoon. Of course, we have a boat. We're lucky enough to have a boat that takes
True.
us out into the lagoon. And the life is very different here. If you're a tourist to being a resident, there's another whole sort of underworld, let's say, of life as a Venetian rather than life as a tourist. Yes.
If someone is to come and visit the city, what would be, some suggestions that you would offer to people coming?
Well, first of all, I think Venice is a museum in itself,
True.
and that you can just walk around and see so many things. If you want to see paintings that are in situ, then obviously you go to the churches, where the Scuola San Rocco has the wonderful Tintorettos.
Just restored now, right?
Yes,
Which is
yes.
really incredible. I think it was thanks to Save Venice that the
Yes.
restoration was done.
The
And
restoration in the small room at the side.
yes, the Alberghetto, right? The name, yes.
Crucifixion.
Yes, beautiful crucifixion in Alberghetto. I mean, Venice is incredible in the way. I think when Ruskin came and saw the Tintorettos there, I think he came down to his knees. He was so moved by the beauty of the space.
They said at the time it made grown men cry looking at the crucifixion, and the horses are so wonderful. My son's a painter,
Yes,
and he said how difficult it is to paint the horses like they're painted in that scene.
yes.
And I think that those are very important things to go and visit, and not always visited by everybody here. And then you have the museums, of course, wonderful museums. So
What is your favorite place to visit? If you are free in the afternoon with a friend who comes to visit, where would you take them?
most probably to Palazzo Gromani, that's not so visited.
True.
That was restored by a friend of mine, Toto Bergamo Rossi, who runs Venetian Heritage. That's a very special museum.
It was an empty room, right? Before all the statues were brought in. And
Empty rooms, yes.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Talk about a museum that it has a renaissance and rebirth since the works of art were brought in.
Absolutely.
What a privilege to be able to experience that space today as it was meant to be in the past.
Yes, and Terry Morale, of course, just did Cabinet of Curiosities there.
Yes, yes.
And, his
Which was
catalogue has just come out.
Wow,
He
amazing.
gave me the other night.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, Mimi, how easy is to make friends here?
Um,
That's probably much harder when you moved.
Do you know, I think that you'll meet people in Venice that you perhaps wouldn't meet if you lived in a big city. A lot of visiting people that come through that perhaps look you up.
True.
And then how do you make friends? Well, I think you invite people for dinner.
Yes. That's your specialty, isn't
and you
it?
get to know them. And you either click with them or you don't. And
It's true.
And so that's really how I started to make friends here. And I have a lovely group of friends from all different places, including Venetians.
True. Wow. You know, what a life, what a life. And the fact that you give back so much of it by opening your home for teas and special occasions and the dinners that are always a kind of a dream, I think, for the guests that come in. Last year, we collaborated on a very fun project with our friend Susan Gravely.
Yes.
And the result is actually out now, her book, Italy in the Glass. It was so wonderful to be part, kind of to have a backstory to this, of course.
Exactly.
It's filled with beautiful recipes for appetizers and cocktails and mocktails. And it was really fun to be part of the photo shoot and follow Susan and her team as they kind of were in Venice, but also we went into your favorite place, Gattonero.
Gattonero, yes, on Burano.
Yes.
And what fun we had that day because the fishermen were there as well having lunch.
And they looked like they stepped right from the 1800s, you know, back into...
and they fish in this very precious lagoon.
Yes.
Which is very fragile.
Very fragile, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm sure you have seen all these differences also in the Rialto market, right?
Yes.
The varieties that used to be there are no longer available.
Yes, you don't get them, some of the varieties like you used to because they've had this infestation of this crab, the blue crab that's come into the lagoon. It's been eating the moheki, the small crabs, the soft shell crabs that they use, the canoce, and so on. Yeah, so it's a real problem.
Yes, yes.
They're trying to think of ways to resolve it because they have no predators.
Of course, of course.
This is a new thing that's happened.
Wow.
In the lagoon. Yeah.
I guess it's an ever-changing environment, that's for sure.
And we also did a lovely shoot here, do you remember?
Yes, I remember. I remember you going to Rialto Market to look for all the ingredients.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can... We are in chapter number 1, which is amazing. The book actually starts with us and kind of talks about, you know, how you make friends is to invite people to your home, which I think is a recipe that you have been doing for a very long time. So yeah, we are chapter 1 and it's called Open Your Home. So this is exactly what you do. Maybe when I grow up, I want to be just like you. And look at this. This is an amazing opening with all the beautiful dishes and everything you got.
I love to collect porcelain and ceramics. So we tried to use some of them in the photo shoot.
Yes, yes. Mimi, what is waiting for you now at the end of this 2025?
Christmas.
What are you planning to do? Are you going to get your huge Christmas tree? And
so I have my sister coming from Australia on her way to Germany where her son and his wife are about to have a baby just before Christmas.
Amazing.
So that's lovely. And then I always have a big Christmas tree.
I know. How long? I mean, how tall is it? Just 5 meters or 6?
I think it's about 5 meters and my tree is usually 3.5 meters.
I have seen it. I've seen them setting it up. And how many lights?
About 10,000.
Oh my gosh.
It takes a day to put the lights on the tree. Yeah.
I remember you telling me that you actually put it right here on the windows.
I put it in front of the window because I want when people are passing to feel the effect of Christmas or the holidays, as people like to call it, and that they see people live here, that this is not just Disneyland, and that it's also, I have a wonderful set, which I'm going to get out soon, of a manger full of presepe made mostly in Naples. Most of the pieces come from Naples.
I know, and that's how many pieces do you have there? I think you have the 3 kings.
Oh yes,
I think one king was missing for a while.
No, I have 3 kings.
Who was missing?
Maybe one of them, their hats were perhaps missing.
So I remember that there was one year you were looking for, to kind of complete this incredible structure, really.
Yeah, I have musicians.
Yes.
I have shepherds. I have beautiful angels. That's what I started with, the angels. And I started because I saw in the Metropolitan Museum in New York this beautiful Christmas tree that they do every year. And I saw that they had this amazing crib with so many pieces. And I asked, where did these pieces come from? And they said they came from the 18th century. And someone had donated them. They'd been out of a collection they had. So I was, I thought, well, that's it. And I never thought anything of it. And I was in Naples going along one day and in a taxi. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shop in the old part of Naples called Spacco Napoli, where I saw some of these figures. And so I asked the taxi driver to stop, and I discovered that they're still made there in the same way that they were in the 18th century with these glass eyes, so they look very real. And now I have quite a big collection. Yeah.
I know, Mimi, that apart from Venice, Naples is very dear to your heart.
Yes, I love Naples.
Why do you love it so much?
I love the people that live in Naples. They're very expressive and generous of heart and kind of crazy. And I love that. There's always excitement in the street when I'm there. And I recently took a group in October there. And we had a wonderful time in Naples.
Where were they from?
They were from all over the world. They were from
Wow.
States, some from the States, some from England, France, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany,
Wow.
and Australia. And we had a wonderful
Perfect
time.
ingredients, isn't
Yes.
it, to make it
And
wonderful.
they all got on very, very well. They became friends, and they're still writing to each other on the collective
Group.
WhatsApp.
Oh my gosh. I remember you went to some private collections.
We did, yes, we did. We had some private dinners and lunch, and we also went out to Casetta, which a lot of people haven't seen.
Wow, that
Which
is a
an
special.
hour outside of Naples, and was built to rival Versailles.
But it was very heavily bombed during the Second World War,
Not
correct?
heavily bombed. The
Okay.
chapel was bombed.
Okay.
And in fact, they still leave the pillars there with the
Wow.
the shrapnel and everything within
To kind of show the
the
wounds.
damaged pillars.
The
Yeah.
wounds. Wow.
Yes, yes.
What trips are you planning in 2026?
Sicily,
Okay.
and I hope to do something with you.
Yes, let's see. Let's see if we can maybe. Sicily is always on everyone's list, it seems now.
In April, we're planning to go to Sicily.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, I know it quite well, and I've been there many times. I've driven from one side to the other. But we'll start with Palermo, because there's so much to see in Palermo
Yes.
itself.
Yes, I think there is so much life there, and the art and the Baroque. I mean, there is it feels almost like a city or a country of its own, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, it's had so many different invasions of
Influences too, right? Yes, yes.
the Moors were there for 200 years, and you see very much their influence, also in the food. And then you had the
Interesting.
Normans and the Spanish, of course. The last, or the Spanish.
I mean, why do you like doing the trips?
I love people, so I love getting to know people
Yes.
and sharing the things that I love with them, really.
And I think kind of a magic also gets created when you have a group of strangers that come in, and then you can dive deeply in a city where you expose them to things that maybe tourists get to see, but also hidden gems that you only
Exactly.
know if you're living in a place for a long time, and if you love it and you develop relationships and you take care of the people who
Yes,
you
also,
love and admire.
also as a group, you can often go to things like for a dinner that people are not going to do if you're a couple.
Yes.
But if you're a group, people will host a dinner for you in their palazzo
Yes.
or a lunch.
Yes.
And this is very nice.
So kind of that flavor of people who are traveling. You know, I think back when people would go and do the beautiful grand tour, Venice, Rome, and Florence, they would have stayed for months at a time.
Yes.
6 months or a year. So imagine traveling in that way where you actually get your suitcases down and then you get to really give yourself time to get to know the city. And I hear now, I think we are limited with time.
Yes.
Probably most people that come and do Venice, Rome, Florence might stay 3 nights in every city.
Yes. Well, we were going to do 10 days in Sicily,
Wow.
and And then a lot of people said that was too long. So we're going to
Interesting.
do this time Palermo, and then we'll follow up with
Okay.
another trip.
So how many days? 7 days in Palermo or
5.
5? Okay. That's just enough to kind of
Yes,
put some magic in there as well,
exactly.
isn't it?
Exactly.
Mimi, thank you so much.
Not at all. It's been
It
lovely
is
chatting with you.
always lovely to chat with you. And maybe next year we can do an interview actually in times of holidays.
That would be
We
nice.
get to see your tree and the way you set up. I think that's like a reality show in a way, you
And
know?
also see my presepe, so see
Yes.
my manger.
Yes, the manger, the tree. It'll be a fun episode.
I try to buy once a year at least one thing to add to my presepe.
That sounds like that's I might do that too, Mimi, from now on.
Yes.
I might follow you up on that one.
People should start collecting it because, you know, these people are so clever and so creative.
Yes.
And they put such wonderful efforts into what they do. So I love going down there and seeing. I usually buy from one particular guy,
Okay.
but I always look around.
Yes.
I see what the others are doing too.
Yeah, I think supporting artisans is like what
I
is
try to.
when people are traveling, no matter where in Italy, I think if you go to a local shop and you buy from someone who has been there for a long time
Yes,
and have this incredible skill, I think that's really worth
yes,
investing in and making. That is the object that comes with a story that then becomes the story of your life.
Actually, that's what I try to do in Venice too, is support the artisans. It's very important, and they're a very important part of life, really, artisans.
Yes. And I think what makes the beating heart of the city, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly.
So you're really good at that. I know. So maybe our next appointment will then be next year for Christmas, and we will get to
Fantastic.
see you in action.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, and thanks everyone for tuning in.